The Odrysian Kingdom represents one of the most powerful and unified states of the ancient Thracians. Emerging in the 5th century BCE, it was established during a period of increasing external pressures from neighboring powers like Persia and Greece. Before the rise of the Odrysians, the Thracian tribes were fragmented and often engaged in intertribal conflicts. The Odrysians, under the leadership of their first great king, Sitalces, sought to change this dynamic by unifying the Thracian tribes into a single political and military entity. Sitalces recognized the necessity of unity for survival and power, creating a centralized kingdom that became a significant player in the Balkans. The Odrysian Kingdom represents one of the most powerful and unified states of the ancient Thracians. Emerging in the 5th century BCE, it was established during a period of increasing external pressures from neighboring powers like Persia and Greece. Before the rise of the Odrysians, the Thracian tribes were fragmented and often engaged in intertribal conflicts. The Odrysians, under the leadership of their first great king, Sitalces, sought to change this dynamic by unifying the Thracian tribes into a single political and military entity. Sitalces recognized the necessity of unity for survival and power, creating a centralized kingdom that became a significant player in the Balkans. Sitalces also understood the importance of external diplomacy. During his reign, he sought to establish relations with neighboring powers, including the Greek city-states and the Persian Empire. By balancing these relationships, he ensured that the Odrysian Kingdom could thrive without becoming overly dependent on any single power. His diplomatic efforts allowed the kingdom to gain access to important trade routes and resources, solidifying its economic base and enabling the growth of its influence in the region. Under Sitalces, the Odrysian Kingdom began to develop a distinct cultural identity. While it retained many traditional Thracian practices, it also incorporated elements from Greek and Persian cultures, which influenced its art, governance, and military strategies. This cultural fusion made the Odrysian Kingdom a unique entity in the Balkans, combining the fierce warrior spirit of the Thracians with the administrative and artistic advancements of neighboring civilizations. By the time of Sitalces' death, the Odrysian Kingdom was a formidable power in the region, setting the stage for its expansion under subsequent rulers. The reign of Sitalces, the son of Sitalces, marked the peak of Odrysian power and influence. Sitalces, who ruled from 431 BCE, inherited a kingdom that was already strong but sought to expand its territories further. He was a visionary leader who aimed to make the Odrysian Kingdom the dominant power in the Balkans. Sitalces embarked on ambitious military campaigns to expand the kingdom's borders, bringing many more Thracian tribes under Odrysian control and extending its influence into territories as far as the Danube River to the north and the Aegean Sea to the south. One of Sitalces' most notable achievements was his ability to assemble a massive army, reportedly numbering over 150,000 warriors. This force was composed of soldiers from various Thracian tribes, demonstrating the level of unity and loyalty he had achieved within his kingdom. Sitalces used this army not only for territorial expansion, but also to secure the kingdom's borders against external threats, such as the Macedonians and the Scythians. His military prowess earned him a reputation as one of the greatest Thracian kings, feared and respected by his enemies. Sitalces was also deeply involved in the politics of the Greek city-states. During the Peloponnesian War, he allied with Athens against Sparta, seeking to use the conflict to further Thracian interests in the region. This alliance was mutually beneficial. The Athenians gained a powerful ally in their war, while the Odrysians secured support for their own territorial ambitions. However, the alliance was not without its challenges, as tensions between the two powers occasionally flared over differing strategic goals. Despite these challenges, Sitalces skillfully navigated the complexities of Greek politics, ensuring that the Odrysian Kingdom maintained its independence and influence. The reign of Sitalces demonstrated the potential for Thracian unity and power under a strong and visionary leader. His military campaigns and diplomatic efforts expanded the Odrysian Kingdom to its greatest territorial extent, making it one of the most significant powers in the Balkans during his time. However, his sudden death in 424 BCE brought an end to his ambitious plans, and the kingdom faced new challenges under his successors. Sitalces' legacy, however, endured as a testament to what the Thracians could achieve when united under a capable leader. After the death of Sitalces in 424 BCE, the Odrysian Kingdom entered a period often referred to as its Golden Age. This era saw a consolidation of power and the flourishing of Thracian culture, trade, and governance under a series of capable rulers. One of these rulers was Sitalces I, a king known for his administrative reforms and diplomatic acumen. Sitalces focused on strengthening the internal structure of the kingdom, ensuring that its vast territories remained unified despite the inherent diversity of its tribes. His reign was characterized by peace and prosperity, as the kingdom became a center for trade and cultural exchange in the Balkans. The Odrysians capitalized on their strategic location at the crossroads of major trade routes connecting the Aegean, the Black Sea, and Central Europe. This geographic advantage allowed them to act as intermediaries in trade between Greek city-states, Persian territories, and northern tribes such as the Celts and Scythians. The wealth generated from this trade enabled the kingdom to fund infrastructure projects, including roads, fortifications, and royal residences. Archaeological discoveries, such as the richly decorated tombs of Thracian nobles, reflect the wealth and sophistication of the Odrysian elite during this period. Culturally, the Odrysian Kingdom became a melting pot where traditional Thracian customs blended with Greek and Persian influences. Thracian art, particularly in metalworking, reached new heights, as evidenced by the exquisite gold and silver artifacts discovered in Thracian burial mounds. These items, often adorned with intricate depictions of animals, gods, and warriors, reflect both the artistic skill of the Thracians and the influence of neighboring civilizations. Additionally, Thracian religious practices flourished, with the worship of deities such as Sabazios and Bendis gaining prominence. The Odrysian kings often acted as high priests, linking their authority to divine favor. Despite its achievements, the Odrysian Kingdom during its golden age was not without challenges. Maintaining control over such a vast and diverse territory required constant vigilance. Tribal uprisings, external threats, and the ambitions of neighboring powers like Macedon and Athens occasionally disrupted the kingdom's stability. However, the Odrysians' ability to adapt and their strong leadership allowed them to overcome these challenges. By the end of the 4th century BCE, the Odrysian Kingdom remained a dominant force in the Balkans, its cultural and political influence rivaling that of more established Mediterranean powers. Religion played a central role in the life of the Odrysian Kingdom, serving as a unifying force for its diverse population. The Thracians were deeply spiritual people who believed in a pantheon of gods closely tied to nature and the cycles of life. Deities like Sabazios, the god of the sky and storms, and Bendis, the goddess of the moon and hunt, were widely revered. The kings of the Odrysian Kingdom often positioned themselves as intermediaries between the gods and their people, using religious ceremonies to legitimize their rule and strengthen their authority. The Thracians also had a strong belief in the afterlife, as evidenced by their elaborate burial practices. Noble and royal tombs were constructed as monumental structures, often containing treasures, weapons, and even the remains of horses and servants, to accompany the deceased into the next world. The Kazanlak tomb in modern-day Bulgaria is one of the most famous examples of Thracian funerary art, featuring intricate frescoes that depict scenes of feasting and ritual. These practices highlight the Thracians' view of death, not as an end, but as a transition to a new existence, underscoring the importance of religion in their daily lives. Cultural exchange with neighboring civilizations also influenced Thracian religion and art. Contact with the Greeks introduced new artistic styles and religious ideas, some of which were incorporated into Thracian traditions. For instance, the Thracian goddess Bendis became associated with the Greek goddess Artemis, blending aspects of both deities into a unique form of worship. Similarly, Thracian art began to reflect Greek techniques and motifs, particularly in pottery and jewelry, while retaining distinct Thracian themes such as depictions of warriors and horses. The cultural richness of the Odrysian Kingdom extended beyond religion and art. Music, poetry, and storytelling were integral parts of Thracian life, with bards and poets playing a crucial role in preserving the kingdom's history and legends. Thracian music, often performed with stringed instruments and flutes, was highly regarded in the ancient world. The legacy of Thracian culture continued to influence the Balkans long after the decline of the Odrysian Kingdom, contributing to the region's rich cultural tapestry and ensuring that the achievements of the Thracians would not be forgotten. The Odrysian Kingdom's golden age eventually gave way to a period of decline as internal divisions and external threats began to erode its power. One of the most significant challenges came from the rise of Macedon under Philip II and Alexander the Great. The Macedonians, with their disciplined armies and ambitious rulers, posed a direct threat to the Odrysian Kingdom's territorial integrity and political autonomy. Philip II, in particular, sought to expand his influence into Thrace, viewing the region's resources and strategic location as essential to his plans for empire building. The Thracians resisted Macedonian expansion fiercely, but their efforts were hampered by internal divisions. While the Odrysian kings sought to unite the Thracian tribes against the Macedonian threat, many tribes were reluctant to cooperate or even allied with Macedon for their own benefit. This lack of unity made it difficult for the Odrysians to mount an effective defense against Philip II's military campaigns. By the time of Alexander the Great, much of the Odrysian kingdom had been brought under Macedonian control, either through conquest or diplomacy. The decline of the Odrysian kingdom was further accelerated by Roman expansion into the Balkans in the 2nd and 1st centuries BCE. The Romans, like the Macedonians before them, recognized the strategic importance of Thrace and sought to bring the region under their control. The Odrysian kingdom, weakened by years of internal strife and external pressures, was unable to resist the might of the Roman legions. In 46 CE, the Odrysian kingdom was officially annexed by the Roman Empire, marking the end of its independence and the beginning of a new chapter in Thracian history. Despite its decline, the legacy of the Odrysian kingdom endured. Its achievements in unifying the Thracian tribes, fostering cultural exchange, and establishing a centralized state left a lasting impact on the history of the Balkans. The kingdom's contributions to art, religion, and governance continued to influence the region long after its fall, serving as a reminder of the Thracians' resilience and ingenuity. The story of the Odrysian kingdom is a testament to the power of unity and the enduring spirit of the Thracian people. The Odrysian kingdom's rise to power was largely built on the strength of its military. Thracians were known throughout the ancient world as fearsome warriors, skilled in both close combat and guerrilla tactics. The Odrysian army reflected this warrior tradition but added a level of organization and strategy that set it apart from other Thracian tribes. The core of the army consisted of heavily armed infantry, supported by light infantry and a formidable cavalry force. The cavalry, in particular, was a source of pride for the Odrysians, renowned for its speed and maneuverability on the battlefield. One of the unique aspects of the Odrysian army was its ability to adapt to different terrains and combat scenarios. Thracian warriors were accustomed to the rugged landscapes of the Balkans, which gave them a natural advantage in mountainous and forested regions. They often used hit-and-run tactics, ambushes, and other forms of irregular warfare to outmaneuver their enemies. However, the Odrysians also demonstrated the ability to engage in large-scale, organized battles when necessary. Their military strategies combined traditional Thracian methods with techniques borrowed from neighboring civilizations, such as the Greeks and Persians. The Odrysian kings recognized the importance of maintaining a strong and disciplined army to protect their kingdom and expand its territories. Sitalces, in particular, was known for his ability to mobilize vast numbers of troops, drawing from the diverse tribes under Odrysian rule. His massive army, which reportedly included tens of thousands of warriors, was a testament to the kingdom's military might. These troops were equipped with a variety of weapons including spears, swords, and bows, as well as distinctive Thracian shields and helmets that combined functionality with intricate designs. Despite their strength, the Odrysians faced significant challenges on the battlefield, particularly when confronting more advanced or better equipped armies. The Macedonians, for example, introduced innovations such as the phalanx formation, which proved difficult for the Thracians to counter. Similarly, the Roman legions, with their disciplined ranks and superior engineering, posed a formidable challenge. Nonetheless, the Odrysians earned the respect of their adversaries for their bravery and tenacity in combat. Even in defeat, they often inflicted heavy losses on their enemies, cementing their reputation as one of the most formidable military forces in the Balkans. The Odrysian kingdom's influence extended far beyond its borders, shaping the cultural, political, and economic dynamics of the Balkans and neighboring regions. One of the most significant aspects of this influence was the kingdom's role as a cultural bridge between the Thracians and other civilizations. The Odrysians facilitated the exchange of ideas, art, and technology between the Greek city-states, the Persian Empire, and the tribes of Central and Eastern Europe. This cultural synthesis enriched the region and left a lasting legacy that can still be traced in archaeological and historical records. Trade played a crucial role in the kingdom's interactions with its neighbors. The Odrysians controlled key trade routes that connected the Aegean Sea with the interior of Europe, making their kingdom a vital hub for commerce. Goods such as wine, olive oil, and pottery from Greece flowed through Odrysian territories, while Thracian exports included horses, gold, and timber. This exchange not only brought wealth to the Odrysian kingdom, but also facilitated the spread of Thracian culture and technology. Greek influence, in turn, left its mark on Thracian art, architecture, and coinage, creating a unique cultural blend. The Odrysians also played a key role in the geopolitical landscape of the ancient Balkans. Their kingdom acted as a buffer state between the Greek city-states to the south and the Scythians and other tribes to the north and east. The Odrysian kings often acted as mediators or allies in regional conflicts, leveraging their military strength and diplomatic skills to maintain a balance of power. This role earned them both allies and rivals, as neighboring powers sought to either court or subdue the kingdom to advance their own interests. Perhaps one of the most enduring aspects of Odrysian influence was their contribution to Thracian identity. By uniting the Thracian tribes under a single political entity, the Odrysians fostered a sense of shared culture and history that persisted long after the kingdom's decline. This legacy continued to shape the Balkans during the Roman era and beyond, influencing the development of later states and cultures in the region. The Odrysian kingdom's role as a unifier and cultural innovator remains a testament to the achievements of the Thracians and their enduring impact on history. The Odrysian kingdom, despite its eventual fall, left an indelible mark on the history of the Balkans and the ancient world. Its achievements in unifying the Thracian tribes, fostering cultural exchange, and establishing a centralized state set it apart as one of the most significant powers in the region. The kingdom's legacy is preserved in the archaeological remains of its cities, fortresses, and burial mounds, which provide valuable insights into the lives of the Thracians and their contributions to human civilization. One of the most remarkable aspects of the Odrysian legacy is its influence on later civilizations. The Thracians' warrior culture, artistic traditions, and religious practices were absorbed and adapted by the Romans, who annexed the region into their empire. Thracian deities such as Sabazios and Bendis found new life in Roman religious practices, while Thracian soldiers served as valuable auxiliaries in the Roman military. This blending of cultures ensured that the achievements of the Odrysians continued to resonate long after their kingdom's demise. The rediscovery of Thracian heritage in modern times has also brought renewed attention to the Odrysian Kingdom. Archaeological excavations in Bulgaria, Greece, and Romania have uncovered stunning artifacts that showcase the artistry and sophistication of Thracian culture. These discoveries have helped to shed light on a civilization that was often overshadowed by its more famous neighbors, revealing the rich history and achievements of the Thracians. Museums and cultural institutions throughout the Balkans now celebrate the legacy of the Odrysians, preserving their story for future generations. The Odrysian Kingdom stands as a symbol of the Thracians' resilience, ingenuity, and capacity for greatness. It represents what the Thracians could achieve when united under strong leadership, offering a glimpse into a world where the Balkans were a center of power and culture. The kingdom's story is not just one of conquest and decline, but also one of innovation, creativity, and enduring influence. As we continue to explore and uncover the history of the Odrysians, their legacy remains a source of inspiration and a reminder of the richness of the ancient world.